This week on SailAway, we reinstall every single component of our mysterious Watermaker. I've decided to jump into a pretty big project today because I feel like it.
Do you wanna sail away? I wanna sail away. Do you wanna sail away with me today? Do you wanna sail away?
I've decided to jump into a pretty big project today because I feel like it. The big project is a quesadilla.
Yay! I feel accomplished.
The big project is we are going to relocate all of the components for the Watermaker to what we think is a more sensible location. All of the actual components. Hi. Yeah.
I did Blippy.
And yeah, we're enjoying some Blippy. But they're all under rivers. I believe all of it can fit right under there. And we're going to put our valves right on the end of the bench, which I've seen done in quite a few boats. This is where our microwave is supposed to go, and we would like to have microwave. This stuff's all got to come out. This is all of our valves. These are our pressure gauges, all of which I still know very little about, but I do know that less run of hoses is better. And if everything is down there, then it'll be super short runs to the through haul, to the pumps, to the actual filter, all that stuff. So I think it makes sense. We're going to get all this out of here.
So basically, I'm going to go to the V-berth and do some editing today.
Probably, yeah. You are exiled to the V-berth once again.
Yeah, it's too hot to go outside.
It's so hot. We are just not cut out for the Georgia heat in the dead of summer. So.
Whoops!
Ah! It's all right. I'm pretty sure I wiped that counter down a couple days ago.
Yeah, no.
If you want to get over being a germaphobe,
Yeah.
live on a boat.
How's it going?
I don't know. I don't really know what any of these hoses do. I can't read what they've written on most of these pipes very well, hoses. Mm-hmm. So I just numbered all the places they hook onto, and I numbered the hoses, and I'm just going to yank everything out and see what happens. Like, this thing is supposed to be pickled, and I really hope it is, because if it's not, you got to go through a bunch of crap to get the membrane to recondition it. Yeah, because we have to buy another one. They're crazy expensive, I think. We'll find out. Okay, time to dig into the bigger components, which are all under our dinette. Right there is the membrane tube, and then all those hoses are going all the way up there to the corner of the kitchen. This is not even mounted down. Frankly, I don't know what the deal is with this thing. I don't know if it was ever used. I don't think it was used by the previous owner. I'd be shocked if it was, because it just does not seem set up to work. So, I don't know. I've got the manuals, I've got all that stuff. So, I'm just gonna pull everything apart and try to remount it in an intelligent way, and just in this area. I don't see any reason it needs to be spread all over the place like that. Well, as expected, this is a gigantic pain in the ass.
We just got the boat clean, and now it's a mess.
It's gonna be like 20 feet less run of hose. And it's not as convenient maybe, because you gotta actually bend over to change the valves.
We have to bend over?
Yeah.
We'll continue pulling rope.
I'm gonna pull some rope, I'm gonna push some rope.
And we're gonna bend over. It's gonna be great.
times.
What's that one?
Number 3. And they've all been like coupled, so it's like they were a reasonable length and everything was set up down here, and then somebody like put extensions on it and ran it all the way up there. Number 3 has now been shortened, and they're all full of old water.
How long is our living room going to be torn up?
Well, I'm not going to get the whole thing like remounted and re-situated today, but I can get all the stuff in here at least somewhere. You know, we can go get a microwave.
Will you go to microwave today? I want a microwave.
Yeah, we're kind of getting down to it now. Got some mess of hoses, some excess length of these will be cut off once I figure out where everything is going exactly. Pretty darn sure the panel's going to go on the end right there, so as long as the hoses reach that, that obviously is what we want. So I think I'm going to try and bring this end around here so that it runs this way. So this thing's, you know, dripping water where I'm kind of loosening these fittings, and I think I'm just going to have to accept that I've got to drain it. And it's either just water in there or it's pickling solution. I frankly don't know if it is or it isn't. I know the pickling solution is supposed to smell bad. Maybe that's just when it's fresh, you can just first put it in. I'm not smelling much at all. So I'm going to take that fitting off right there. I've got a pitcher here to try and collect water as it runs out. Try not to make too giant of a mess. Lauren.
Yeah.
I need you to come smell something. Or what you? I need an opinion. Here, smell that. Don't stick your face in it and smell hard. Just kind of, just a light sniff.
In case I'm like
Pass out. Yeah.
I don't know what's bad.
Does it just smell like old nasty water, or does it smell like a chemical?
No, it definitely smells like a chemical.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nasty. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
That's all I wanted. I just wanted your nose.
Smell my finger.
I mean, I could have done that because it's all over my hands.
Yeah.
Here.
No!
Smell.
No!
Smell.
No!
Smell it.
Go away! What just happened?
Just dropping my wood down a hole. We are installing a microwave that we bought for $50.
Yes!
But we will have a microwave before I go to bed tonight. It's 11 o'clock at night.
We've got a microwave.
We have a microwave now. Turns on, heats up water. It's amazing. It just took a little bit to get it to fit in there right and not slide around. Had to put a little stop in the back at exactly the right spot. This just fits so snug around the whole thing. It's almost too snug, but now works perfectly. So day 2 of the Watermaker reorganization. Looks eerily similar to how it looked yesterday. And I'm about to mount our valve panel. This is all the valves that control running, turning off, servicing, flushing, etc. of the entire Watermaker system. But we're going to mount it right here on the end of the dinette, right where all the Watermaker things are, so that there's very short hose runs. We can get things hopefully run pretty simply without too many angles, etc. Yeah, so I'm just about to cut a big giant rectangle into our boat. Never the most fun thing to do, but we keep telling ourselves this is where it needs to be, and sometimes holes must be cut. Next, we have our monitor panel, this bad boy right here, which shows us our system pressure and our flow. We're going to mount it just right around the corner right here. The manual has this handy dandy template that was not used before, so I'm going to use it now. Well, we have the valve panel, for lack of a better term, installed. There she is. And it just took a funky combination of pieces of wood from the things that we've cut out to build up this space between here, and then brace it up and screw it in. So now I just gotta trim down all of this excess hose, reattach it, clamp it to all the correct nipples. I gotta look into how to reattach that fitting, because I don't want that much line in there if it's not necessary. So that's next. I'll tell you, it's a complicated process. Not particularly hard so far, just a mess of stuff. Cutting this many holes in the boat this early in the morning, I really need to be hitting the whiskey instead of the coffee though. The coffee's not doing it. Alright, I'll check back in once we got some hoses hooked up. I'm starting to accept that this is basically just a Watermaker install as opposed to a Watermaker rearrangement, because this is just the stupid shit I keep finding. There's no way this thing ever worked. Look at this. This is the brine discharge hose. That right there. That right there. That's the outflow for the discharge. And it's back in there. When I was trying to see how much length I had for the brine hose to rehook it up, to reattach it, this is, I led it all the way up to the through hull, but basically it's got to go from that T-fitting up to there, and instead of using a big coil so that it would have a nice gentle loop in it, they just used a nice little short piece and it kinked at both ends. And like I said, there's just no way this thing has ever actually functioned. I feel like it was installed and then pickled, and now we have it. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when I get this all hooked up and we try to refresh it, clean it, and use it. I'm going to be pretty stunned if it works the way it's supposed to. Well, y'all, there was a large gap between the last time I picked up this camera and now. But the Watermaker is put together, finally. There was just a lot of messing around. We were missing a bracket for one of the filters, the actual pre-filter. And that particular filter was real nasty. And it's sort of an unusual make, at least from the kind that I've seen on boats. That's the old one. For the sake of simplicity, I wanted one that I knew I could swap out cheap filters in, just universal ones. So I bought a whole new pre-filter to replace that one. So yeah, everything is now in place. It's all bolted down, strapped down, screwed down, whatever the case may be. Here's the whole deal. It's way neater and easier to figure out than it was before. So running it will be another episode. We don't want to run it back in here in the nasty water around the marina, but to actually test it to see if it's working, we'll have to go offshore to do that. Yeah, so we are currently flushing the Watermaker. I flushed everything that was in the entire Watermaker out, and shockingly it didn't stink, which means it was pickled, it seems, which I did not have much faith that it was going to be. Since then it's sat for a couple weeks, so we're flushing it again, and basically we've got a freshwater flush on this. And you divert all the valves so it's taking in fresh water and just circulating it through the system just to get everything out. So while it's doing that, we're going to calibrate our little salinity meter. Alright, we're going to turn it on, We got the product coming out here. Hey, we're gonna test this by letting you drink it.
It's so yucky.
Good call.
Alright, Daddy's gonna try and taste the water.
We don't know if our salinity meter is working properly. So we've been running it for probably 45 minutes for sure.
Yeah.
And it's reading 275 or so parts per million, which is well under what you should want. So here we go.
Taste it?
Daddy's gonna taste it.
I'll taste it first. If I die.
Well, you gotta give it at least like 20 minutes before you give it to the kid then.
It's really clear.
Yummy, yummy on my tummy.
We'll see.
Meow, meow.
We don't like running it back in here because the water is gross and it's ruining our filter for sure, but we had to test it, so.
So if you don't die, do it fast.
Smells like water.
Or taste it. You didn't.
Tastes like water?
You didn't die.
I didn't die. Alright, your turn. It's like,
I feel like it's got a weird smell.
I think it does, but it's because it doesn't have like the chemicals and stuff in
When
it
I
from.
Taste it. It's real good. When I taste it, it's real
Definitely
good.
got a weird taste.
Let Rivers taste it. Your turn.
Okay.
Just take a little sip.
Yummy.
See?
It does not taste good.
It is. It does.
It kind of tastes like, well, it kind of tastes like water like in my hometown where it just doesn't have as much going on in there.
Water.
It's not salty at all.
No, it's definitely not salty. It's just got a weird,
Yeah.
funky taste to it.
So I know this has been a whole bunch of crazy technical stuff of me digging around in here, wrenching, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, give us a like, ring the bell so you can get a notification of all our videos. And if you like what we do, go check out our Patreon page. That'll do it for this time. Cheers. See you next time. Thanks.
As you look through seasons that have come and gone, and you wonder how we even made it this far. As you look through seasons that have come and gone, and you wonder